If you thought the NFL offseason was quiet, think again. The latest comments from Andy Reid about Saquon Barkley have fans buzzing, and for good reason. During a recent press conference, Reid, known for his measured and thoughtful approach, dropped some insights that immediately sparked conversation across social media and sports talk shows alike. Saquon Barkley, one of the most dynamic running backs in the league, has had an up and down career with both incredible highlights and frustrating injuries. Fans and analysts alike have long speculated about how a player of his caliber could fit into Reid's offense, and now Reid himself seems to be weighing in more candidly than ever before. What makes Reid's remarks so interesting is not just what he said, but how he said it. He didn't resort to vague platitudes or generic praise, which is often the go-to for coaches when asked about high-profile players. Instead, he highlighted Barkley's unique skill set while also addressing the challenges of building a game plan around a running back of his talent. Reid mentioned that Barkley is not only physically gifted, but also has an exceptional football mind, someone who can read defenses and make adjustments on the fly. This is high praise coming from a coach who has overseen some of the most efficient offenses in NFL history. Moreover, Reid touched on the balance between using Barkley effectively and managing his health. Fans have seen Barkley deal with injuries over the past few seasons, and the conversation around him often shifts between excitement for his talent and concern for his durability. Reid's comments suggested a thoughtful, long-term approach. He emphasized the importance of creating schemes that allow Barkley to shine without putting unnecessary strain on his body. This combination of strategic planning and player care reflects Reid's reputation as a coach who values both performance and longevity, and it has sparked a lot of debate among fans about what this could mean for Barkley's future. The response from NFL fans has been immediate and passionate. Across Twitter, Instagram, and fan forums, people are dissecting every word Reid said, trying to read between the lines for hints about game plans, roster moves, and even potential trade rumors. Some fans see Reid's praise as a signal that Barkley could become an even more central part of his offensive strategy in the coming season. Others speculate that it's a cautious acknowledgement, meant to signal respect while also highlighting the challenges of integrating a player with Barkley's unique style into an already complex offense. Analysts have also weighed in, noting that Barkley's skill set is exactly the kind of versatile talent that can thrive under Reid's guidance. Reid has always been known for crafting offenses that adapt to their players rather than forcing players to fit a rigid system. In that sense, Barkley could potentially have one of the most productive seasons of his career if everything aligns: the right offensive line, a smart rotation, and effective use of his receiving ability out of the backfield. Reid's comments seem to suggest that he is thinking along these lines, envisioning ways to maximize Barkley's impact without overextending him. What makes this development even more interesting is the timing. With the offseason in full swing, teams are evaluating their rosters, planning training camps, and making critical decisions about contracts and draft picks. Hearing a coach of Reid's caliber speak so positively about a high-profile player like Barkley inevitably raises questions about the team's priorities. Are they planning to build around Barkley more than previously thought? Is this a signal to fans and the league that Barkley is seen as a cornerstone of the team's offense? These are exactly the kinds of conversations that drive off-season hype, and Reid's remarks have fueled speculation in every direction. Fans are also reacting on a more personal level. Many have long admired Barkley not just for his talent, but for his determination and resilience. After facing injuries and setbacks, Barkley's ability to return to high-level play has earned him respect around the league. Reid's comments underscore that respect, recognizing both the physical talent and the mental toughness that Barkley brings to the game. For supporters, this is validation, Seeing a legendary coach acknowledge Barkley in such specific terms reinforces their belief in his potential and gives them hope for the upcoming season. In addition to the fan reaction, media coverage has been extensive. Sports networks have been analyzing every nuance of Reid's statements, looking for implications about play calling, offensive schemes, and even contract decisions. Commentators have noted that Reid's ability to communicate strategically to the media is part of his genius. He can energize the fan base while maintaining flexibility in negotiations and planning. The balance of praise and caution in his words about Barkley reflects this approach perfectly. It excites fans while leaving room for adaptation as the season unfolds. Some insiders have also weighed in, suggesting that Reid's remarks could influence other teams' strategies. When a coach publicly praises a player like Barkley, it doesn't just affect the team internally, it sends a message to the rest of the league. Opposing defenses may start preparing differently, anticipating how Barkley could be utilized in innovative ways. Meanwhile, other teams might rethink their own roster moves, knowing that Barkley could become a major offensive threat under Reid's system. The ripple effect of a few carefully chosen words is already evident, and analysts are predicting that this could shape narratives for months to come. It's also worth noting that Reid's comments could have implications beyond just Barkley himself. They speak to the philosophy of the team as a whole, how they plan to balance star power, depth, and strategic flexibility. In modern NFL football, having a running back who can contribute in multiple ways, rushing, receiving, blocking, is invaluable, and Reid's acknowledgement of Barkley's versatility suggests a willingness to design plays that maximize those strengths. Ultimately, Andy Reid's surprising words about Saquon Barkley have done more than just spark conversation. They have set the stage for a fascinating offseason story. They touch on talent, strategy, player health, and team philosophy all at once. Whether you're a diehard fan, a fantasy football manager, or just someone who enjoys following NFL drama, these comments provide insight into how a legendary coach thinks and how a star player might be utilized to maximum effect. The buzz surrounding this topic is well-deserved, and it's likely that fans will be discussing and analyzing Reid's words for weeks to come. In the fast-paced world of NFL news, moments like this are rare. A coach of Reid's caliber speaking openly about a player of Barkley's stature creates excitement, speculation, and genuine engagement. It reminds fans why the NFL offseason, though quieter than game day, can be just as captivating. As the season draws nearer, the relationship between Reid and Barkley will be one to watch, not just for the highlights on the field, but for what it reveals about leadership, strategy, and the careful orchestration of football excellence. So, whether you're a fan of Barkley, a supporter of Reid, or just someone who loves NFL storylines, this is a development worth following closely. With the right combination of skill, strategy, and smart management, this duo has the potential to deliver some of the most exciting football moments we've seen in years. The conversation has only just begun, but one thing is clear: Andy Reid's words have fans talking, and the NFL world is listening.